Días y bienvenidos a todos. Even though today is the choir's day off, we're getting some choir members to come up here and join us to sing with our gathering song, Draw the Circle Wide. We can't put the music on the screen, but the words will be on the screen if you all would like to join us. And if there are any choir members who want to come join, come on up and look at the music. There they are. They're on. Give me an F. F sharp. Okay. All right. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. No circle, draw the circle wide.
Draw the circle, draw the circle wide. Good thing there. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide.
Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Dun, 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 dun. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Dun, 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 dun. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Dun, 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 dun. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Dun, 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 dun. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Dun, 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 dun. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle,
Draw it wider still.
let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Dun, 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 dun. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Thank you, choir.
You did better with Catherine.
morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Las Cruces. What's my name? My name is Mark Sukontarak, and I'm your service associate today. Our service leader this morning is John Seeley. Unitarian Universalism has no creed or dogma. We are a covenant-based church, meaning that we agree to live in relationship with each other according to the Unitarian Universalist principles in this congregation's covenant of right relations. We embrace diversity in all its forms. Everyone is welcome. You can learn more about our church and check the events calendar at our website, uuchurchlc.org. If you are visiting us today, we'd like to meet you. If you are in the sanctuary and are so inclined, would you please rise or raise your hand to show your interest, and wait for the microphone to introduce yourself by telling us your name, where you're from, and how you heard about our church. Do we have any visitors here in the sanctuary? Okay. Do we have a mic?
Yes, sir, I see it.
Yes, sure. That'd be great. And turn it on, right? There you go.
This off?
You could.
Okay. My name is Jeffrey Field. I came to this church actually through a synchronicity. I moved here from Garfield a couple weeks ago, and I looked up churches and I saw Unity on the old mall. And I went there for the service and was told, oh, it's been moved to 1 o'clock because it's the 20th anniversary, so it's not going to be. So then I thought, well, let's go back to Google. And I did, and there was the Unitarian, which sounded like unity, and I looked at your website, and your website was very impressive, and I walked the maze this morning, and I believe in your ideals, and so here I am. Thank you.
Fortuitous accident for us.
Yes.
Anyone else?
If you're joining us, can you introduce yourself by turning your mic and camera on? Any visitors joining via Zoom? No. Okay. Thank you. We are happy that you have joined in our service today. Be sure to fill out a visitor's card in the lobby or leave your email in the Zoom chat box so we can invite you to other services and activities at the church. After the service, please join us outside under the portico for coffee hour, our time to converse and get to know each other and have some delicious snacks. Those joining us via Zoom need only stay where you are, and you will be able to converse with one another in a chat room after the service. Now let's thank those who make this hybrid service possible. On doing camera is Elwin Nunn. Handling Zoom are Chris Neal Wallace and Mike Yasko, he's new. Covering music are Kathy Cox, Irene Schultz, and me, Mark Sukontarak. Our greeters today are Julie Woody, Nancy L. Anderson, and Jillian Lang. Handling hospitality today after service is the Finance Committee. Now is our time for all ages, which is going to be a video. You know what? This thing got out of order, so I'm messed up here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry I got this out of order, fellas. Or ladies, too. Did you want to do the opening words first? Or? Yeah. Oh, let me get out of your way then.
Good morning. Our opening words this morning are from Lao Tzu, who wrote, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished.
Okay. Okay. We light this chalice today as a people dedicated to personal growth. May it burn away the oppressions we have been taught and glow instead with the humility of learning. May it reignite our dreams for a better world and kindle our joy for simple living. May its warmth extend out into the forgotten alleyways of exclusion and bring us home to love, to welcoming, and to all the challenges, the questions, and the blessings of this beautiful path to becoming a beloved community. Okay, I need the order again. I want affirmation service. Okay, please rise in body and or spirit and join in saying our congregation's affirmation of covenant, and remain standing as we sing the doxology in English and Spanish. The words will be displayed on the monitor. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung, through every land by every tongue. De todos bajo el gran sol, ser esperanza, fe, amor. Now it's a time for all ages, a video.
Wherever you go. When it's time for a journey to learn and to grow, roads guide your footsteps wherever you go. Roads give you chances to seek and explore. Want an adventure? Just open your door. Roads go. Over a hill, under a bridge, deep in a valley, high on a ridge. If you yearn for the ocean or wish for a stream, roads bring you closer to reaching your dream. Roads zoom beneath city buildings that tower on high, twinkling like stars in the dark velvet sky. Racing past signs, reflecting their light, zigging and zagging, turn left, then turn right. Roads bend. Detours head where you wouldn't expect, showing you various ways to connect. Bringing you closer, then curving away, you always have choices to go or to stay. Roads reach across flowing rivers, past harbors and bays, with breathtaking bridges designed to amaze. Attaching two places that once were apart, choose to cross over. Follow your heart. Roads merge. Small, distant roads sometimes travel alone, marking the miles out there on their own. Then a new road wants to join in the fun, heads the same way, and the two become one. Roads grow. Well-traveled roads sometimes need extra space to guide life's adventures to a new place. Which path should you choose? That's easy to see. The one that will take you where you wish to be. Roads wait for click-clacking trains and boats with tall sails, slow-going hay wagons carrying bales, stoplights and crosswalks, a deer with a friend. Roads sometimes pause or just come to an end. Roads climb. Steep mountain peaks dusted lightly with snow, rising above the deep canyon below. Clinging to cliffs, chasing a cloud, reaching the top, tired but proud. Roads remember. Every life landmark, the big and the small. The moments you tripped, the times you stood tall. Where you are going and where you began. What you expected, what you didn't plan. Roads return. During your journey, you'll ramble and roam, but sooner or later, you'll think of your home. After you've seen all you needed to see, a road takes you back where you're longing to be. Back to that hill, under that bridge, deep in your valley, high on your ridge. Roads take you all over the planet, but then you always can follow them home once again. The end.
Please rise for our opening hymn, number 53, I Walk the Unfrequent Road. Words will be on the monitor. I'll whistle it, the first verse so you know the tune.
I
One of the ways we support one another in community is through the sharing of joys and sorrows. If you have a joy, sorrow, or a milestone you would like to share, please raise your hand and I'll bring you the microphone. As a general reminder, please refrain from making announcements. If you're Zooming with us this morning, please put your joy, sorrow, or milestone in the chat box.
I
Is
would-
it on?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I turned it on. Is it on there? Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Yes, my name is Rita Decker, and I would just like to, huh? My name is Rita Decker. I do have a sorrow. I have a friend who is really suffering with her stage 4 cancer and has metastasis to all sorts of places. And I would ever, whether you pray, whether you send energy, whether you have thoughts, I would appreciate if you would keep her in your mind. Her name is Sherry.
Anyone else? Yes.
Hi, my name is Jean Gilbert, and I have a joy. I'm going to Kansas on Friday and going to Central Kansas to celebrate my high school class, 55 years high school class reunion. And maybe there were close to 90 of us that graduated from this small town, and I think 60 are still living, and about 20 of us will be there, I think. So I'm excited. Another trip to the Midwest.
Okay, we light this candle for the joys and sorrows that have been shared, and also for those we hold too closely to share. Let's see. I guess it's time for the homily. Okay.
Well, good morning, congregation. That's whether you're here with us in the sanctuary or there with us somewhere in Zoomland, USA. Welcome. I titled our homily this morning, Blue Highways, UUs, and Belonging, for good reasons. Let me explain. First of all, this is a homily. What is a homily, I asked myself. I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing. A homily is a religious discourse that is intended for spiritual edification rather than doctrinal instruction. So, my remarks this morning certainly qualify. Some of you may remember a book by William Least Heatmoon entitled Blue Highways. Can any of you recall that? Oh yes, some people do, okay. Well, my thought is that UUs, embracing a non-creedal religion, have a unique opportunity to travel on blue highways, metaphorically that is, on belief paths or highways as we make our ways ultimately to our personal credos, our individual sets of beliefs. These blue highways are our avenues to belonging. As UUs, I think we will always belong because we will always be traveling on some blue highway of spiritual growth. Now, I'd like to refresh your memory, for those of you who may not know all the details, that is, about the book Blue Highways and about its author. I'm reading from a published biography. Blue Highways, published in 1982, is a chronicle of a 3-month-long road trip that William Least Heatmoon took throughout the United States in 1978, after he had lost his teaching job and been separated from his wife. He tells how he traveled 13,000 miles, as much as possible on secondary roads, in his camper van, and he tried to avoid cities. These roads were often drawn on maps in blue in the old-style Rand McNally Road Atlas, hence the title Blue Highways. Living out of his van, he visited small towns such as Nameless, Tennessee. Anybody from Nameless? And also towns like Hachita, New Mexico, and Bagley, Minnesota, to find places in America untouched by fast food chains and interstate highways. The book records his search for something greater than himself and includes memorable encounters in roadside cafes. This memoir was very, very popular, making the New York Times bestseller list in 1982 and 93 for 42 weeks. That's a pretty long run, you know? He wound up earning a PhD and teaching English. I'd like to share how he has changed over the years. Maybe. Could you put the picture up, please? So you can't do it. Well, here I'll just read my script and tell you what the pictures show. My script says, because the picture is a picture of my son and my grandson, and so I say, "Oops, that's my son and newborn grandson. He belongs in a prophetically genetic sense. His name is Hayes." William Least Heathmoon's name is a combination of both European and Osage Indian heritage. Now, the two pictures of William Least Heathmoon, one is of a young William Least Heathmoon with dark hair. And the second picture is his older self with gray hair. And I wanted to note that time does have a way of graying us up, doesn't it? Yeah. So before I go too far, I have a personal Blue Highways story to tell. And I'd like to share it to make my point. And before I do that, I'm going to have a little sip of water. Now, my wife and I agreed over many, many things. We both were UUs, well-educated professionals. We knocked on many doors together to help elect Obama. But one thing where there was absolutely zero agreement was how to travel from a place relatively far away. Her point of view, which I understood and appreciated, was get there as directly and quickly as possible, thereby saving time to enjoy the destination. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Now, I'm a Blue Highways guy. I like to take back roads when you never know what you might stumble across, when the journey is as important as the destination. Eileen and I had two really good couple friends. We gathered almost every Saturday when we were in town to catch up over breakfast, and sometimes our breakfast lasted a couple of hours. And sometimes we would plan weekend trips where we would go to some interesting place in Michigan where we lived, and we settled on going to Muskegon, Michigan, on Lake Michigan, and we thought that that could be one of those trips. Back home, Eileen and I pondered actually, how in the world should we make that journey? Sounds like some of you may have had the same experience. But we should, the question was, should we take the freeway or should we go on back roads? So we thought, because we were Democratic UUs, we would put it to the group. Wouldn't you know it? Half were Blue Highways and half were green. So we decided to just split it, half blue highways and half freeways. And that was the Saturday before we left. So we decided to start out on the freeway and go to a little town called Marshall, Michigan. It was about halfway, and then we would take side roads to Muskegon. At Marshall, as I said, which was roughly halfway, we left the freeway and started out on a blue highway. In about 10 minutes, the road, meandering through tall pines, really beautiful, narrowed because of an upcoming small bridge. Cars had pulled over on either side of the bridge. We couldn't help but be curious. So we went over the bridge and walked back after parking our car. And there were many folks standing on the bridge, borderline mesmerized by looking at the water below them. In the stream, there must have been, 20, 25 salmon moving back and forth, over and under, during their spawning dance. I mean, that was really spectacular. Now, if it works, we have a video of salmon spawning, maybe. Oh, there they are. Go ahead and start it, please. Now, we were not quite that close up because we were on the bridge. I think you can cut it. We too were mesmerized. After about 10 minutes, we returned to our car. Fred, Jean, and I, the Blue Highways aficionados, didn't rub it in at the time. But the Blue Highways topic did slowly creep into the dinner conversation. I hope you get my point. Now, as you use, I believe we have many blue highways we can explore. That's what makes us so interesting and makes our developing a credo both challenging and rewarding. Because we are not a creedal faith, we can jump on one blue highway for a while and jump off. Or we can choose a blue highway like Buddhism, for example, and stick with it for a lifetime to see where it leads us. The main blue highways I'm thinking about are our 7, about to be 8 principles and our 6 sources. Just as a reminder, let me mention a few of them and imagine pretty deeply. you are on that highway through readings, videos, services, sermons, life experiences, reflection, meditation, you name it. Now, to sample the principles, our first principle is the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Our second principle is justice, equality, and compassion in human relations. Our third principle, our acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. It doesn't take too much imagination to realize our principles could easily be lifelong journeys on a blue highway bound for ever-emerging credos. Now, just to enrich your thinking, I want to mention a couple of our 6 sources and then point out the many highways that surround us actually here in our sanctuary. And Elwyn, when I come to that point, could you please pan around so they can see the various windows? Thank you. A few of our sources are direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. I hinted at this in one homily I mentioned about awe. Another source is words and deeds of prophetic people which challenge us to confront powers and structures of evil with justice, compassion, and the transforming power of love. Wisdom from the world's religions, which inspires us to our ethical and spiritual life. Now, let's just take a minute and look around at the windows in our sanctuary. I mean, they represent various paths that you might choose to take. And the sacred Zia symbol behind me has 16 spokes, and each one of those spokes could be metaphorically a path. So there are so many blue highways that are available. I certainly wish us all well in our journeys, knowing we will always belong. Thank you.
It's time for sharing of gifts. Operations and outreach of our church need your input and contributions. In a moment, the greeters will pass among you with the offering baskets. But before they do that, I'd like to let you know that we support organizations identified by the Social Justice Committee with our Change for Change program. This quarter's recipient for our Change for Change donations is Safe Haven Animal Sanctuary. The actual change you place in the basket will go to that program. If you write a check, note that it's for the Change for Change recipient. Please give generously.
Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worried about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, so it's all the same to me. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say once you're gone forever, and some say you're gonna come back. Say that you rest in the arms of the Savior if in sinful ways you lack. Some say that you're gonna come back in your garden, bunch of carrots and little sweet peas. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worrying about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say they're going to a place called glory, and I ain't saying it ain't fact. But I've heard that I'm on the road to purgatory, and I don't like the sound of that. I believe in love, and I live my life accordingly. But I choose to let the mystery be. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worrying about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. Think I'll just let the mystery be. Think I'll just let the mystery be.
Get the changed order here, so is it time for the closing hymn now? Please rise for our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Hymnal.
Standing on these mountains and plains,
Our closing words this morning are a familiar poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Through as far as the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads to way, I doubted I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, perhaps ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled, and that has made all the difference.
Please note that announcements are on the back of your order of service. I'm going to tell you a couple of them. Dave Rice has asked that I expressly encourage attendance at the round table, since the speaker will be Nicole Martinez, Executive Director of the Community of Hope. Nicole is extremely well informed, and she will be speaking about tents to rents, which is the subject of our special fund appeal. Dave also asked that I give a thank you to those who have already contributed. Also, Reverend Emerita Nancy Anderson will be holding classes in October for people new to Unitarian Universalism. But it's open to everyone. It's a great series of classes, and many of us on the membership committee plan to attend. The classes will be 2 hours long shortly after Sunday services on 4 Sundays in October, the 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. See me or Lynn Pearson after the service for more information. Lynn has a sign-up sheet and will be in the lobby. It's a blessing to be here with you. Please join Kathy in extinguishing the flame.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Thank you.